Hey, I've got a couple of lists on review for you today. One is from Red, who wants to take his list to a couple of tournaments in the UK, and one is from Lucas in Switzerland, who wants to use a large unit of inexperienced Italians who just want to be with their nonnas and eat pasta. So let's go and check that out, shall we? Link, or if you want to send me stuff, is in the description for this video, my email. So yeah, so this is Red's list for Bovington and one more tournament. So 17 authorized, 1250. It's a German platoon. He says that he is very inspired by my Armies of Germany review, top 10 German units and stuff. So he's bringing a Panzer aus G. So that's the medium anti-tank gun with a bunch of machine guns. This is the slightly expensive one, but it packs a punch. Yes, it's only an 8+, but I mean, medium AT gun, that makes it a tank hunter, and at the same time it's got the machine guns to go and hunt infantry. I think this is more or less the best tank for the points right now in the game. And then he brings an EF, Panzer III again. So turret-mounted light AT gun, another Panzer III turret-mounted light AT gun, and a 222, and a 250/8 Stummel. The Stummel is really good because it can go and hunt infantry, but at the same time, it is a nice transport for infantry. So very, very strong for me, very strong armored platoon here. Let's see what he backs it up with. He takes a rifle platoon with an inexperienced platoon commander with a pistol, so as cheap as possible. Spartruppen, because everyone does this. Infiltrator, Gebirgsjäger, that combo, awesome, amazing, so cool. Air infantry with light machine gun, backline holders, regular indeed. So that's the optimized way of running these. You can make them. I can't remember if it's Panzer Grenadiers. There's one of the other Grenadier units that can take double light machine guns, which, can throw out even more shots, but they do become more expensive, right? One Gebirgsjäger squad here with submachine guns, because that is a push unit for 140 points. Very expensive, but, I mean, it's a sizable unit. It can do work. 7-man unit with 3 submachine guns and a couple of Faust in it, Gebirgsjägers as well. Yeah, I like it. A company commander, so that you get the multiple snap 2s and the +4 morale and all of that. That is, he would do well sitting in the Stummel along with those Gebirgsjägers. Light mortar team, 2 of those. Inexperienced, optimized way of running these. 250/1. Oh, do we miss the other one with the double machine guns? But, I mean, it was overpowered. So regular one for that. I'm not sure what needs to go in this, because the Stummel can transport, how many is it? 8-man. Yeah, that's plenty for what we need. So I'm not sure what the second transport is supposed to bring, but he does bring a second rifle platoon, another platoon commander. Feldgendarmerie, traffic direction, very good for your armor platoon. And another Heer infantry. Yeah, I'm still not seeing the use for the second transport here. And I'm actually in doubt about why you would even bring this second rifle platoon. Because 1, 2, 3... Well, you've taken all the infantry slots up here. Okay. Yeah. So that's why you bring it. It seems empty, doesn't it? It seems a little bit empty. One thing you could consider doing at least, is downgrade one of the Panzer IIIs to a Panzer II, a Lux. The Lux is also very, very good. It would free up a little bit points and mean that you had a little bit more to spend, possibly an extra order dice somewhere. Although this list is definitely not lacking Red. I think it's a very, very, very decent list, and 17 order dice is pretty good at 1250. So Yeah, very little you could do to optimize this, in my eyes. 3 tanks, snap 2 with that commander sitting in one of the transports behind it. I mean, it's just very, very good, isn't it? And then we have the Italian list here from Lucas. Again, 17 order dice for 1250. He is bringing an inexperienced officer with a pistol, I guess. No, it's still bring what you model for these rulebook Italians. So bring in SMG. And then infantry sections, backline holders with LMG, 5-man, 6-man unit. Okay, a little bit bigger than they need to be, but it's nice to have a little bit more stamina. 2 of those. 1 unit here, inexperienced, large unit, 9 men. I would not buy these. Like, optimized. Okay. If you want to run a large, inexperienced unit, I get that. That's perfectly valid. I would not give them gear, right? Because that gear, they're shooting with -1, and if they've moved, that's -2. And if they get a pin, that's them gone from the game, basically, right? So sticking SMGs, sticking LMGs on them for competitive purposes is not needed, is not something that you would want to do. Thematic, maybe, but for competitive purposes, no. So I would spend the points on extra bodies, like as many as you could. Possibly even making them a full-sized squad, so a maximum strength, which means that you can re-roll tests as long as you don't lose guys, including outflanking tests, for instance. So 10 dudes outflanking with rifles is not nothing. Perez, very, very good push unit. Very small, though, 6-man unit with 5 submachine guns. They're stubborn, which is very, very good. Also, Predetto is also a good one. I would normally not run them in experience because that means you get -1 to hit with the MMG and you're always moving with this one. So, yeah, that's -2 to hit, which is not cool. The heavy Semovente, ouch, that is a big one. That's a 9+. It is vulnerable, but it has a medium anti-tank gun, so it is more or less a Stuk type of vehicle. 170 points, command vehicle. Yep, you can do that. Double heavy Semovente I would not do, though. The Italians have a bunch of nice Darker tanks. Go and pick one of those up to supplement, so you have 1 tank hunter and 1 not tank hunter. Just, it's a lot better. And the Auto Blinder is one of those Darker tanks that really, really work well. For 100 points, you get a light autocannon and an MMG, right? And I believe you can even stick more MMGs on these. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But, I mean, these are just very, very good. The medium tanks, the M14, the M15, all of that, very good. Because they've got all these MMGs, right? So, for me, 1 tank hunter, I think, is enough. Your mileage may vary a little bit, but so all of these are good choices. I just disagree with picking double heavy Semovente. That's my gripe here. Heavy weapons platoon, always good to boost your order dice count. So platoon commander, inexperienced, medium machine gun, inexperienced. Yes, I run my medium machine guns like this as well because most of the time they're just sitting somewhere, right? So yeah, I get the -1 to hit, but it's still 6 shots, and I'm hitting on 5, so 2 hits on average every single turn, right? That is perfectly fine for me. So you could argue that the artillery platoon with a light autocannon is more beneficial than this, but I mean these. The access to medium machine guns and the mortars as well in the heavy weapons platoon, you just can't beat it for just simple dice spamming. And he does take 2 light mortars and an AT rifle, running it regular as you should. Now for me, I would want there to be 1 extra AT rifle possibly. that would mean boosting one order dice, and you can do that by simply cutting that heavy Semovente, making it a light Semovente, or an Auto Blinder, or something else, right? One of the darker tanks, M15, M14. You could save a few points there, free up the points, buy one more AT rifle. Double AT rifles, go on outflank or sit in ambush, use them as cheap snipers. All of that works really, really well. Right, 2 very, very good lists. Very interesting, very competitive for me. Both of them really have cut down to the bone, although I think there's still things we could say to them. Thank you so much for sending me your lists. And if you want to send your list for review, remember there is a wait. I try to get through to everyone, but there is a long wait, so you may have to wait up to a month before I get to yours. So just send me a list, but do so in advance. If you expect me to get to, like, I'm going to a tournament next weekend, I may not be able to make that. So yeah, that's it from me. See you next time. Cheers.